Have you ever looked up at the sky and wondered, why is the sky blue? It's actually a really interesting question, and the answer lies in how light behaves and interacts with the Earth's atmosphere. Let me explain. Sunlight, or what we often call white light, is actually made up of a whole spectrum of colors. If you've ever seen a rainbow, you know that sunlight contains colors like red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. These colors are actually different types of light, and each one has a different wavelength, which is the distance between each peak of the light wave. The color red, for example, has a long wavelength, while blue and violet light have shorter wavelengths. Now, here's where the fun part happens. When sunlight enters Earth's atmosphere, it doesn't just travel straight through. Instead, it bumps into tiny particles in the air, molecules of gases like oxygen and nitrogen, as well as dust, water vapor, and other small things in the atmosphere. This interaction causes the light to scatter in all directions. The amount that light scatters depends on the wavelength of the light itself. Blue light is special because it has a shorter wavelength compared to other colors like red or yellow. Shorter wavelengths of light scatter more easily when they hit the particles in the air. Imagine throwing a small ball against a wall. It bounces around more than a larger ball would. In the same way, blue light bounces around much more than red light. This scattering of blue light is known as Rayleigh scattering, named after the scientist who first described it. Because blue light gets scattered in all directions by the tiny particles in the atmosphere, it fills the sky, and that's why we see a blue sky most of the time during the day. But why don't we see other colors of light scattered the same way? Well, it's because red light, with its longer wavelength, doesn't scatter as much. It mostly passes straight through the atmosphere, traveling in a more direct path. That's why, even though sunlight contains all the colors, the blue light is the most noticeable as it bounces around and spreads across the sky. If you've ever watched the sky during sunrise or sunset, you've probably noticed that the sky looks red or orange instead of blue. This happens because, at those times, the sun is lower on the horizon. The light has to travel through a much thicker part of the atmosphere to reach us. As the light travels through more air, much of the blue light has already been scattered away, and the longer wavelengths, like red and orange, are scattered less. These colors end up dominating the sky, giving us those stunning warm hues at sunset and sunrise. So, in short, the reason the sky is blue most of the time is because of the way sunlight interacts with Earth's atmosphere. Blue light, with its shorter wavelength, gets scattered more than other colors, filling the sky with blue. It's a beautiful example of how light, air, and the world around us all work together in an amazing way to create the sky we see every day. Next time you look up at the blue sky, just remember that it's nature's way of showing off the wonders of light and the way our atmosphere scatters the sunlight. It's a simple process, but it creates a stunning result.